Welcome, everybody. Here we are, Patano meeting number 129. It's January 14th, 2025. And today we're being joined by Duke, Sugar and Spice, Vanessa, Ashley, Ayo, Boas, Clement, Guillermo, Lilu, and Zalfred. Thanks all for being here. Yeah, as you can see on screen, a very concise agenda for today. Starting off with a couple of mentions, and then a little recap we had on a session we had today earlier during governance on the Q1 budget process. And if there somehow is some time remaining after that, there will be, there's room for open topics. So if anything pops to mind during the call, don't hesitate, put it in chat or just later on do mention it. Then before we dive in, a quick reminder on what the ambassador program even is and what we're doing. Basically, we're a group of like-minded people all in tune with the mission and vision of Singularity Net and its ecosystem towards decentralized AGI. And yeah, we do this by working in a whole wide range of self-organizing work groups. So if there's a topic you want to help out on, and I'm sure we do have a work group for that, so do hop onto our Discord server. There you'll find a how to join section. This section will tell you how to join. Then a couple of mentions. Two things on needed input. Still needed input. First of all, the end of year report for 2024. It's looking better and better. It's getting more input by work groups, but also still some work groups are missing, and we do need all work group input we can get. And additionally, on the monthly workgroup syncing calls, there's more feedback is very welcome there. So far, we had 5 people, I think, filling in the form, which does give good feedback, but the more the merrier. And yeah, after the town hall, I'll push the links to the Ambassador General channel. And then I figured I'd throw in a quick reminder for the noon and all hands space, actually, the Twitter space, X space. It's tomorrow at 14 UTC. Also, earlier today, Nunet pushed out their Q4 recap blog. So if you're interested in Nunet, do check that out. It's pretty much the last post on all their socials. And yeah, tomorrow there's a call going over all they did in the last quarter, but also all they will be doing in, the upcoming year, pretty much. It's a lot. So yeah, if you're interested, don't miss it. And I think that's on the mentions. Next one there. I figured it would be good to share a little bit on earlier governance workgroup session we had today. Basically, we did a retrospective on the Q1 budget process. And during this, we introduced the workgroup budget caps. So before we did the whole consent round, we established maximum amounts that workgroups were allowed to request. And there was an experiment. And during today's retrospective, pretty much all the participants indicated that this would be a good thing to continue doing. And yeah, unless we somehow get a lot of feedback all of a sudden that this would be something we should not continue, it does look like we should continue that. And yeah, gathering this feedback, we did through a Miro board, which is still open for more input. I can promise after the tunnel to put the link, but I think right now on the governance channel, it is actually the last post there. Would be that Miro board. Yeah, it's just open for more feedback. Things that went well during the process, things that didn't go well, and also suggestions for the upcoming iteration. Thanks a lot for sharing the links in chat as well, Vanessa. Cool. So yeah, that's open for input. And then this Thursday during the open governance session at 14 UTC, basically we'll try and figure out the processes around the workgroup tiers, because right now we do have a tiered system, and yeah, it's to be expected that workgroups are going to argue for stepping up a tier and therefore being able to request more budget. And we do need some processes around that. We didn't have that during the very first iteration because it was just the very start. Yeah, basically it's to be expected that people will argue for changing the tier. So that will be the main discussion item during Thursday's session. Yeah, maybe someone in the room, if I'm missing out or skipping things on this topic, don't hesitate and feel free to jump in and add to that. I think that somewhat covers. Oh, all right. By the silence, I can only assume that perfectly covers the topic. And to be completely frank, agenda-wise, that is pretty much it for all I wanted to share today. So there's a lot of room for open topics, and this is where the interactivity part comes in. If there's anything you're bumping into, you might be getting stuck somewhere or on a work group or individual level, it doesn't matter. If you have any questions, if there's new people in the room that want to introduce themselves, there's definitely room for that. So yeah, anything goes. If there's anything you want to discuss with the group that now grew to 15 people, you most definitely can. Yeah, man, you have your hand up. Feel free to.
Hi, Pete. Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. First meeting of the year for me. So, politics. It's politics. So, Happy New Year, everyone. Hope you started amazing with your friends and family. Just wanted to add, Peter, and don't let the room full of crickets and help you on the probably today's recap from governance and what is coming ahead. You mentioned something. And probably if this is a call to action for this next Thursday governance, would be nice to have everyone there as we're gonna see what we can add to this new consent process and how we will address the next challenges, how work groups will be able to increase their cap, what will be the process or the participation from the community members and all those things that we need to address as moving forward. It was a nice governance call. And the other thing is another call to action for everyone out there that is into building stuff. So RnD Guild is coming back tomorrow online. I think it's 17 UTC tomorrow, and we're going to be addressing status situation in developments. We have pending deliverables for the community and deployments. Hopefully, we're going to activate this month. And also, the Latam Guild is going to come back from a long nap after a hangover on New Year's. Down here in Latam, we have a good time. It's summer down here, but it's time to come back and address the challenges. And again, tomorrow, everyone from the Latam community, tomorrow, Espanol town hall for the Latam Guild. So everybody is welcome. That's 22 UTC.
Nice. Thanks for that. That does remind me actually on the calling out upcoming calls. I do think this week has the open office for BGI Nexus at 18 UTC this Thursday. It's also on the calendar. Maybe not to put you on the spot, Lilo, but seeing you're in the room, is there any agenda for that, or is it the name has open in it, but is it like open agenda, or is there specific topics you're looking to cover?
Yeah, I forgot the date for a second. I was like, wait a minute, isn't it next week? But it is, you're right. There is not an agenda that I think at the moment. There's definitely quite a lot going on. Um I'm not certain what will be the topic. Um but I think we will definitely have stuff to talk about, either whether it is these kind of we are putting together basically something like a deep funding round, but sponsored and run by BGI Nexus for beneficial projects. It will just be kind of similar to deep funding, but will not run through deep funding. We'll be running it ourselves. Um, and we might bring that up. If not that, we might be bringing up some projects that are looking for donations, like our African initiatives, like the DigiTruck and stuff. Um, I'm not sure what will be the point of what we will do. I think we're also going to be starting a spending attending events. Yeah. Yeah, I get a good point would be to continue like ambassador because yeah, where I have put in multiple requests that we put in our first quarter budget, which we have not done for BGI Nexus. So yeah, figuring out like what we're wanting to do, like what we're wanting to try to get to be involved with the ambassador program would be great. So maybe yeah, like talking about that more would be a good idea. Um, and I think also we're going to be having our own little community set up. I think we have settled on doing it on Mattermost for now, until we get a actual like website with a forum going for BGI Nexus. So we don't have the Mattermost setup. I think we're going to be doing a separate one from the Singularity Net server, but I don't know. We're still figuring that out, but that we might have some questions for people about how they feel about that. So these are just some things that might pop up that are kind of going around lately, but I know that we are definitely getting some funding to do these things. So that is a good thing. So we just need to figure out the budget so we can put in the request so we can get access to that money as it is. So yeah. Oh yeah. Also the book club is currently on hiatus right now. Ben has requested that himself because he would like to be present, of course, to talk about his book, The Consciousness Explosion. So right now it's on, the book club itself is on hiatus until Ben's ready to restart it. He wants to focus on like getting BGI Nexus a little bit more stabilized, because it's kind of like yeah, we just kind of started doing things without having a lot of our backbone put together for it. So he wants us to kind of focus a little bit more on like getting everything settled before doing so many things. Also, we're doing a lot for pre BGI activities, which more information will come out about that within the next few weeks. I'm a part of the production for the pre BGI activities. So yeah, well, we're figuring out what we want to do for that. And also, we have started doing BGI Summit planning. So there will, of course, be more information coming out about that, which BGI Nexus is involved in helping planning for. So yeah, a lot going on. Very exciting stuff. And yeah, that's it. Thank you, Guillermo, for putting that in chat.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. And again, sorry for putting you on the spot like this without checking in first. But cool stuff. Yeah, earlier today during foundation marketing, it also was people were asking like, okay, it's not too last moment yet to get stuff going for BGI 25 and potential ambassador attendance there. So like Vanessa put in chat a bit before, a discussion on spending, potentially spending ambassador program reserves on having people attend events. Yeah, that conversation is definitely something to pick up, well, shortly. You know, preventing the whole, oh shit, it's very last minute right now. Because right now it's not yet. So yeah, good stuff. It's a bit tricky in a way, like I don't think the dates are public yet. So that makes it some parts of the concrete planning side of things a bit tricky, but I believe that should, well, it's going to be not a lot of weeks before that's more clear. Yeah, and local
Just like
streams
end
are
of May, kind of, but just like, yeah, no specific dates. There have been some internal of are these the dates, but yeah, I can say that for certain. If not mid-May, definitely the end of May is kind of what it's going to look like.
Yeah. And it makes me wonder if publicly there was any communications. So I won't talk about it, I guess, because I'm not sure on the location. I don't think that's public yet. Like, keep my mouth zipped. But yeah, conceptually, just the whole topic of potentially spending reserves on that. I would say best case scenario, we sort that within, well, not much more than a month. You know, just to allow for yeah, the whole travel planning stuff is always good to have more time than too little, of course. Makes me wonder if there's a fitting work group or whether maybe dedicated sessions would make sense there. That's not necessarily something to sort for now. But...
I think probably a dedicated session, because most of the relevant work groups are either full of other agenda items or they're only meeting monthly. So
yeah, very true. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is also something I need to. I don't have clarity right now from foundation side whether they would like to, for example, like earlier last year when in Panama, they did sponsor quite a substantial amount to have ambassadors over there. I do think they really appreciated the interviewing we did there, and they would be interested in doing something similar there. But yeah, without having any concrete numbers, it's a bit of a vague discussion, I guess. I think before the end of the week, I could get a bit more clarity there. I'll write that down.
Yeah, there was also, I know that I'm actually going to talk to Pam in a few days about some stuff, and I'll ask. But I know that Ben also was wanting to do more like virtual components with this summit. So I'm not sure like in what direction like so far that's going, but yeah, yeah, I'll try to understand what's going on, but yeah. It's
Okay,
you know,
fair.
it's the beginning of the year. It's like but I had already started presenting proposal for planning like last year. I was like, let's get this started, guys. Okay. But
Fair.
yeah, maybe some presents might be nice, I think, if we can get at least a few people going. But yeah, we should probably try to figure that out, like get it all wrapped up next month. So like people, but then we have to hope that the actual dates are settled and stuff, which I think probably by the end of this month should be. So
Yeah.
I think by next month we can get the tickets and make sure whoever's going can get their visas if they need it or in their tickets together and whatnot. That would be ideal.
Yeah. Top secret location, as Vanessa puts it. Yes. Yeah, very true. Visas do depend on the location. Yes. That's all right. Any further thoughts on the topic in the room?
I guess sort of, yeah. I mean, here we're talking about BGI 25, which is one event, but we did talk kind of more broadly about events, and I guess I don't know, I'm wondering if there's anybody here who's aware of other events, virtual or real, that they think we should be at. I'm just looking at the chat. Duke is considering the Bermuda Triangle. Yeah, it's a safe bet. I think it's good. But yeah, somewhere we have a spreadsheet that Colleen collated about some events that are happening. I'm just going to try and find that now and post it in the chat. But yeah, it would. I just feel like we did say that, there was a few of us who got together at the end of last year to talk about under what circumstances should ambassador reserves be used for events, and we came up with some suggestions. Don't know if we are ready to share them yet, though, because I think what we said is we'd like to get another group of people together to do the same thing without having looked at ours and see if people are aligned or see if, do you know what I mean? Because it's kind of, if they've read ours first, then yeah, it kind of spikes their guns a little bit. So I don't know. Is that something that anybody here would be interested in doing? Like a sort of little mini focus group to discuss the issue?
I mean, I'd be happy to. But also sideways involved with the current one, so that makes me a bit unsure. Let's approach it as a standing invite for now. I was trying to look into the AI ethics channel, but I can't see it there at least. So,
Well, there's a couple of people in the chat who are saying they'd like to. Sucra, Clement,
awesome.
Lilu, is that a yes?
Yeah, I'm always happy to participate in helping where I can, especially looking for, I mean, just because, I've been part of trying to help people be a part of events and stuff. So always happy to pitch in there or, yeah.
Oh, and Duke as well. So how about if we said Duke, Lilu, Sucra, and Clement should get together?
Let's add Vasu to it.
Because we were four, so maybe is it four? Oh, I've just seen Vasu as well. That makes five. The budget would to pay people to go to a meeting would have to come out of governance, I think, because that's where we said we'd pay the other one from.
I think we can do that. I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I do think there's still some range for that.
Yeah, there is a little bit. All right, so that is then Vasu, Do, Lilu, Suk, and Clement. So I guess what you would need to do is just get together somewhere on Discord, decide whether you want to have a meet or just an async. And what I could do is I could this is what we're about, so it doesn't go off on too many tangents. And then you document what you think and we compare and contrast.
Awesome. Makes a lot of sense. Okay. Oh, you did find the spreadsheet. Nice. That's in chat as well. But then this new group shouldn't look at it, right?
Oh no, the new group can look at that. They just can't look at the documentation of our meeting where we discussed what should be kind of like how should we decide whether ambassador reserve should be used or not. Yeah, the spreadsheet is just a list of like events that Colleen dug out. So if anybody, I think edit access is open, so if anybody knows any more, please add them.
Awesome. Yeah, looking at the clock, in theory, we still have 20 minutes remaining on the slot. So if there's any other topics people feel like touching on or discussing or small questions, there's very much room for that. Also, welcome Tavo and Kenichi. Good to see you. We are getting towards the somewhat end of the tunnel, but maybe either of you has some open topics to throw to the audience and discuss. And if not, I do think that is more or less a wrap done for now. Just making sure I double check the chat, but yeah, okay. Cool. Give a recap. As in on today's tunnel, you mean? Or I guess I can. Let me cheat a bit since I have the slides in front of me. Started off with a couple of mentions, which you can see on screen. And the VA report still looking for workgroup input and feedback on the workgroup syncing call. It's also still very much welcome. And tomorrow has a NUNET all hands X space at 14 UTC. And this Thursday has a BGI open office at, it's gone from my screen, 18 UTC. That's pretty much the mention side of thing. Yeah, and then to give a recap of the recap of governance earlier today, that's a bit meta. Short version would be the Miro board is still open for additional input. And so far, it seemed most people thought the experiment on having workgroup budget caps being a good thing and to be continued for Q2. The processes around this and how to sort that, like, let's say a workgroup wants to be in a higher tier. How do we go about that? These kind of processes, that's going to be the topic for Thursday's open governance session at 14 UTC. And yeah, well then during the open topics, I guess, to park that under, Lilo gave a bit of an overview on the current situation on BGI Nexus. And well, short version there would be, well, first of all, join the open office session on Thursday. And more info on BGI coming shortly. Trademarked soon. I think that's a bit of a recap. Vanessa sharing some more links in chat. Thanks for that. All right. Final check. Anyone in the room, something to add to today's session? You still can. And if not, that does conclude today's town hall. Thanks all for hopping on and sharing your time. yeah, hope to see you in. It's a long list of upcoming calls we still have going for this week. It's like 12 of them, I believe. 13 even. Craziness. So yeah, hope to see you either on there or we'll talk on Discord. Thanks again, and have a nice remainder of your Tuesday. Cheers.